What's going on, everyone? Diamond Dust 132 back with the second episode of the Dust Report. If you've seen the title to this episode, you know exactly what we're going to be talking about today. And that's King of Fighters 14 3.0. Big update coming, hopefully pretty soon. I don't think they announced a date, but I'm going to assume it would be some point after that Evo Japan booth they got going on. But we'll get into that in a little bit because I got some business to take care of. First of all, happy holidays, everyone. Christmas is coming up in a couple of days. I will probably be doing nothing. Getting drunk and playing King of Fighters. So I don't know. Maybe I might set something up on Christmas if nobody's doing anything and you want to play some King of Fighters. You know, we'll see. I'll worry about that at the end of the podcast, but for now I got some business I want to get through. First of all, speaking of Christmas and speaking of playing King of Fighters, DreamCancel.com, they're having a party battle mode event that'll be on Christmas Eve, actually, the 24th, obviously. That'll be at 6 p.m. Central Time. Dream Cancel, they always run these party battle mode events quite often, and they're always pretty fun. Party battle mode is very underrated. It's kind of hard to find 6 people to do it, but when you can, it's a real blast to play. Especially when you OCV three guys in a row. That's pretty fun. But anyway, yeah, they're gonna have like a Christmas Eve session, and again, that'll be on Christmas Eve, obviously, 6 p.m. Central Time. Make sure if you are gonna join this, make sure you're on wired internet, not Wi-Fi. If you're playing fighting games on Wi-Fi, stop. Stop right now. Shame on you. I'm gonna put the link to that in the description if you want to check that out or join, or at the very least watch. Moving on, Kings of Colorado, KCO. They are having another online tournament. This will be number 5. And for those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, for a while now, KCO has been running these online tournaments for money. They've raised $500 this time. Very good, yeah. $500, and the goal was $300, so they definitely surpassed that. So they're going to be doing that. I got the date in front of me. Saturday, December 30th, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. I have no clue how to convert Mountain Time to your time if you don't live in Mountain Time, so you're on your own on that note. Very important, this is apparently only the Steam edition. I just realized this, and I'm glad I caught it. So if you're on PS4, too bad. You can at least watch it. But yeah, if you're on Steam, then this tournament is for you. $500 prize pool. Unfortunately, I think if you haven't signed up by now, you may be out of luck because the spots in these tournaments, for obvious reasons, you know, there's money on the line. The spots run out pretty fast, and it's free entry too. But anyway, I'm going to put the link in the description, and I could be wrong, and it might be an open spot. If there is, and you got Steam Edition, jump on there. That's $500. I don't know how they're going to split that, but that's a lot of money. You can make you some good money. Alright, so we're going to move on to the main order of business, and that is this big update that came out of nowhere. I was actually at a con Alt Delete. For those of you that have been following my podcast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And speaking of that actually went very well. The panel I did, they gave me the worst possible time. It was Sunday, 5 p.m. The con closes Sunday, 6 p.m. So almost everyone had gone home. But still, it was a pretty good turnout. These were people... I had asked everyone in the crowd. No one there played King of Fighters. But a lot of people hadn't even heard of it. But they still came on down to the panel. And I went through the basics with them. So yeah, that turned out pretty well. So hopefully some of those guys end up becoming... King of Fighters 14 players in the future. Unfortunately, I was not able to record the event like I wanted to, but I do plan on running this panel, I should say, at as many cons as I can, and maybe some other places. I can't think of any right now, but yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to record one in the future, so you get an idea of what I was doing. But getting back on topic, yeah, I was at the con when I heard about this new whatever update. Here we go. They did announce that a new character is coming with it, and I'll put the picture on screen. It should be up right now, and as you can see, that nice little Joker card. that tells me that it's either going to be Oswald or Ash as the DLC character. I've seen both names float around. I've also seen people saying, well, it's going to be the whole Ash team, and I was like, I don't know about that. I mean, Shenwu is pretty hype for me, but that'd be a stretch, 3 whole characters. In my opinion, it's either going to be Ash or it's going to be Oswald, one or the other. I personally don't think it's going to be Ash because he's supposed to be dead. And I know they kill Verse at the end of the story mode, but my gut's telling me Oswald, basically. It could be Ash, and if I'm wrong, then I don't care because I like both characters. And Oswald's hype. If you've ever played King of Fighters 11, then like you know how hype Oswald is. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting. And then of course we can't talk about we can't not talk about the possibility of a balance patch. I mean that's probably, personally speaking, that's more exciting to me than 2 new characters. Even though 2 new characters is good. I mean there's a lot of stuff they could do. There's a lot of stuff they couldn't do. I'm not gonna bore you for hours on end talking about possibilities. I'll just give you my kind of wish list. Speaking of wish list, if you have one, I would like you to drop it in the comments section. I would very much like to see you guys this wish list. So if you have one of those, go ahead and drop that in the comments section. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'll go through mine real quick. It's nothing too crazy, I think. I only have a few here. I'm not asking for crazy characters or nothing like that. The first one on my wish list is Universal Roles. And you've probably seen this request run around a lot. So I think Frynell asked for something like that too. Basically, I just want to see everyone roll the same excuse me. I just want to see everyone roll the same distance. Personally speaking, I don't see any reason why everyone would have to have a different roll, distance, recovery, all that. Just have it universal. Because some characters have good rolls, some characters have very bad rolls. So let's just make that universal. It'll tone down certain characters that have good rolls and they're already a good character. And it'll help certain characters that aren't as good and they got bad rolls. Just make that universal. That seems like a simple change. I don't think too many people would be upset with that sort of change. The next thing on my list is probably what you guys got. Let's buff these low tiers. I would say the game's somewhat balanced. I think it's very difficult and somewhat impossible to completely balance a fighting game, but I think the way the game is now, you can basically pick anybody as long as you give them good support. But it wouldn't hurt to buff some of these low tiers, and I would rather they do that than they nerf the high tiers into oblivion. So I know some of you got your feelings about like maybe Leona, Benimaru, Kula, but I think the game, personally speaking, would be better off if they focused on the low tiers. Characters like Xanadu, for instance, Chang, Whip. You guys know who the low tiers are, but they would focus on them. That'd be great. Next thing on my list is, and this is kind of, I guess, controversial, and I don't expect them to do anything, but some kind of Maximo Changes, because the way max mode is now, it's just kind of dominates the metagame, and I don't think that makes the game bad, but I think it could be toned down. Like I said, they probably won't change it, and it's like whatever, I'll play the game regardless. In terms of max mode changes, the only thing I can think of is you can't do it on block. So if Iori does stand D but you block, then he can't cancel the max mode. So that would mean people would at least have to confirm in the max mode. And they don't get a situation where even if you block it, they just get EX moves, so there's no real repercussions. But like I said, they don't have to touch max mode. This is like a fringe request. If they don't change it, they don't change it. If you guys got any max mode ideas, or if you want to stay the same, yeah, let me know in the comments section. I'm curious about your opinion. Last thing on my list is some sort of graphics overhaul, whether that be characters, stages, and or the menus. The current menus are fine, but I don't think a fresh coat of paint would hurt. Maybe you go the route that Street Fighter V Arcade Edition is going, where everything looks all pretty and whatnot. I wouldn't mind that. Even if they didn't touch the menus, some sort of in-game graphics update. I think the models look pretty good now, especially after that last patch. But I think I said this in another podcast. You know, it wouldn't hurt to tamper with them. Not tamper, what's the word I'm looking for? It wouldn't hurt to, you know, mess with them. Make them look a little prettier. Yeah, and that's about it in terms of wish lists for me. Like I said, I'm not really a picky dude. And like I said, if you guys got something, I would love to read about that in the comment section. So yeah. Other than that, I think I covered just about everything. I personally don't have any characters. Well, I guess that's not true. I think I said this in another podcast, like the Orochi team would be nice. Blue Mary would be nice. Oswald will be nice. I'm pretty confident, like I said, this is either Ash or Oswald coming, so that's pretty dang exciting. But yeah, I think that's all I personally had to say about this patch. I'm pretty excited. And the booth's supposed to be January 26th through the 27th, so that's close, but at the same time it isn't, which is kind of frustrating. I would just like to hear something already, but it's better than them doing nothing, so I can wait. And who knows when the patch is going to come out. Like I said, it'll probably be after that Evo Japan booth. Not right after, let me clarify. Sometime after that, whether that be weeks, months, hopefully not years, obviously. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Big shout out to all my patrons. I'm going to put them on the screen. And if you haven't already, please help me out over on Patreon. That'd be greatly appreciated, because I love making content like this. And any kind of support, even $1, would greatly help me out. Oh, and I nearly forgot one big thing. I don't know how I nearly forgot this. Concerning my tutorials. So the timing of this announcement has kind of been awkward for me. I literally just got through putting up a tutorial that some parts of it anyway, may not apply anymore after a potential balance patch. So what I'm going to do until I can confirm whether yes or no there's going to be a new balance patch, I'm going to not make any more tutorials until then. So that Shunei tutorial, I already had it like 75% done. So I'm going to put that on hold until after this booth, hopefully, and then we'll get some clarification. If earlier than that, that's fine too, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to hold off on the tutorials for a little bit. Yeah, like I say, it just doesn't make any sense for me to make them and then they announce a balance patch and then they're invalid. So I'm better off just like sitting on my hands and waiting. So I apologize to anybody out there who was looking forward to the Shunei one or the one after that. I promise the dead second I figure out what's going on, I'm going to go back in the lab. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to wait until, if they do a balance patch anyway, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait until I get my hands on that. I will not get it early because I don't get special treatment from SNK, unfortunately. But yeah, so until then, no more tutorials for the time being. And I apologize in advance. You can feel free to curse me out. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. But anyway, with that out of the way, thank you for listening. This has been the Dust Report. Thank you once again to my Patreons. Thank you once again to my subscribers. I will hope to be back with another podcast as soon as they make another announcement. This is Diamond Dust 132 signing out.